Well, I got to give a congratulations. You played yourself. Just to everybody who thought this Trump presidency was going to be better than the last one, or forgot completely about how bad the last one was, and was focused on PPP loans and stimmy checks, or forgot that a whole pandemic broke out and hundreds of thousands of American people died, millions around the world, and you thought that this was going to be smooth. This one came in hot. Super hot. And by the way, there is a lot of noise. There's a lot of meaningless noise that is, causing people to be afraid. And so, and some of it may mean nothing, and a lot of it may mean a lot. We don't know yet. But what I do know is yesterday, one of the lawyers that was working on the case against Mayor Adams has resigned. And this was after she basically was like, listen, this is a quid pro quo. We're dropping this case against Adams because he's doing favors for Trump.
She came out and said it.
Basically. And put together a whole letter and was basically like, look, the case we had against Adams was solid. Come to find out, this woman was a Trump-appointed Republican lawyer who is standing on business.
Well, it's one of those mistakes, Ebro, where, usually Trump tries to just put his sycophants in power, but they're not always available. So sometimes he ends up just enabling like a regular Republican who has some morals. And they're like, wait, what is happening? We're dropping this case because he became friends with the...
So now you have Kathy Hochul on with Rachel Maddow yesterday.
Oh, I saw that.
And Rachel Maddow's basically like, you're the only person who can fire this person. What are you going to do? And Hochul doesn't seem ready to make a call, which is going to work against her because this thing is heating up.
Well, she said she's looking at it, and it sounds like there'll be some sort of decision soon, right?
She says she's getting some advice, but I don't know, man. She didn't seem so confident.
Well, you can't. I think guys know. I think it'll be very ill-advised to immediately, the second that news comes out, to sound too rash. I think you want to sound very even, and I'm going to look at it and decide. I don't think you want to sound like you have an axe to grind. I don't think that would work to her advantage. So, give her.
I don't disagree with that. And this is going to be a long, little road. The next 18 months. But man, if anybody thought that this was going to be a good one, and I mean the Trump presidency,
you played yourself.
Congratulations, you have played yourself.
Oh, and by the way, you have you not only got a president, you got some weird super boss who literally stands over the president, sunning him in the Oval Office and holding court. It's even if you were a Trump person, doesn't that make you feel weird that there's some overlord who stands there with his kid playing around?
Well,
it's not weird to you?
No, it's super weird. They know it's weird. They want it, and those that won't admit it. But there's definitely people coming out admitting that they were Trump supporters, and this is a bad idea. Farmers, business owners, and they're talking about inflation going back up already.
And do they understand that, Musk can basically do what he wants because he protects Trump financially? So Trump is basically his little itch and just has to sit there and let Musk do whatever he wants because Musk has all the money?
Hit the button.
Congratulations, you played yourself.
You can say what you want. You can say, oh, well, Joe Biden, he owed everything to the corporations. All right, cool. They didn't literally stand over him like, this is my little bitch right here. This is my office. They didn't literally do that. I'm going to bring my kid to work. You want to come to work?
And by the way, anybody in America that thinks that corporations and Wall Street won't be in play during a presidency, hit the button. Did you forget you live in a country that's about money?
Congratulations, you played yourself.
The whole thing is about money, guys.
It's all rigged?
Nah, it's rigged to get some money.
Right. So you can't trust the politicians.
You could trust them to want to get some money.
Yeah, but I don't. But Shawnee, that game the thing that you're saying right now is exactly why I've gotten into like borderline friendship, breaking up arguments with people because they just keep going, yeah, because they're all bad. I go, yeah, but if you're not willing to see that this one that's happening right here is different
worse.
bad, if you can't see that and you just keep throwing the false equivalency blanket on all of it, I don't know.
Well, yeah, but
it's
how about
the concept
this,
of
guys?
choosing the best of the lesser of evils.
Guys,
is what you're saying.
did you forget where you live?
Right.
Stop. You forgot. You live in America. What are you talking about, the lesser of evils? The whole thing has been evil since the beginning.
Right, and throwing your hands up and going, it's all bad is not going to do it.
It's always been, as far as humanity's concerned, we've been murdering, raping, killing, and pillaging since the origin.
Since the beginning.
Johnny's just trying to justify why he doesn't vote.
I'm just listening.
You see his smirk on his face? You see it? That's what I'm like, come on.
It does feel like it.
Look, I was just listening. I'm like, yo,
Well,
don't
talking
be
about
like
corporations and
Shawnee cannot-
Elon Musk. What do
Oh,
you
it's all
mean?
rigged, right? It's all rigged.
Shawnee and
It
people
did feel like
him
that.
can all, Shawnee and all the people like him can say that while they still take taxes out of his check and while he still obeys the rules.
It's all it's all about
So, by the way,
game.
I have a question. Last thing on this. Why do people act like lesser of two evils is not still super important? If you were at home and you looked at your door and you looked through your peephole and they were like, you better choose who's about to break into your apartment. It's two evils. One was the scariest monster of all time. The other one, he looks like a little rough around the edges, but you might be able to kick it with him and maybe chill for long enough to not die. You're going to go for the lesser of two evils.
Sure.
Why do people act like that's not a worthwhile
so
thing?
much time on this, bro.
I mean, listen, it is our country falling apart in front of us, Ebro.
Well, no,
and
why are we
still
spending time on people who think like that? They don't get it. They don't get it, which is why we're in this predicament. Is because they don't get
And
it.
they don't want to get it
And they
either.
don't want to get it. So it's not even, it's like not even worth time.
Well, listen, and you know what? You're right. We're delaying when we need to get to something very important, which is hitting Ebro with this button right here.
Why are you hitting me with the button?
You played yourself.
Why?
What, Laura, Ebro has found himself in the middle of an international kerfuffle.
I don't even know if
now-
I don't know if I'm in it.
He's now being
Oh,
called
you're
out.
in it.
He's now being called out by Drake himself. So any conversation we
What do
have
you mean
about
because he posted a picture of my face hovering around some sort of ayahuasca pot?
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah.
Shove faces of you around the ayahuasca.
Cass, you said yesterday you believe Ebro has rocket shipped up the charts on the list of Drake hate, correct?
Yep. Drake has nothing
I'm
on
not
Kendrick's
above
chart
Joe
position.
Button. I'm not mentioned in any album. I'm not above Joe Button.
that's
Joe
be- that's
Button's in
because
another album.
That's probably because that one was already finished by the time this happened. If not, I think you would have been in there. I think you would have been in there.
Well, I'll say this. If Drake is now mentioning me at this point in his career, which he's never mentioned me before, or even been on our program or anything like that, and he's at this point where he's mentioning me when he's already mentioned Charlemagne and Joe Button and so many other points, he's at a low. Let's confirm. He is at a low that he is now circling back to me after all these years. He's got a problem. And by the way, it wasn't even on Champagne Poppy. It was on his, what do they call it? His Finsta, his fake Instagram on Plot Twist.
Yeah, which I didn't know was such a huge thing until yesterday. But anyways, this is where, let me get to the button for Ebro. Let's play the audio that has led to not just Drake, but the Drake fans being so angry at Ebro. Let's hear it.
Did it get personal? Yes. Was it specifically between Kendrick and Drake? Yes. Drake is not that important. The reason Drake's in this is because he is a sickness in the game. It could have been any artist. It's what Drake represents. We've been saying this for months. People love Drake. They love his music. We love his music. He's beloved. He's not willing to go rip his soul from the bottom and do ayahuasca and look himself in the mirror as Kendrick had prescribed to him. On what song was that? Euphoria? No.
Seems like it's about Drake, but continue.
No, but it's about what the game does to someone who's trying to dominate it.
Right.
That's the moral of the story. There are a lot of artists have been through what Drake's going through.
Not too many. It's just
All right, hey, bro, with the button, man.
Congratulations.
Where's
You
the
played
button?
yourself.
The button
Sounds
is,
fine to me.
bro, the sentence isolated. You have to know how people work in this world. The isolated sentence,
Listen.
Drake is a sickness, bro, that's a tough. That is, and you can't then follow that up with, yo, play my Drake party next door and think it's going to balance out. Calling someone a sickness.
But by the way, I'm not. Go ahead, hit me with the button and let me get my thing off. You finish up.
Congratulations.
You
You
finish
played
up.
yourself.
Keep going, and let me get my thing.
No, that's the
Because
whole
I'm
button.
glad. As someone who prefers hip hop that stands for something. We're at a moment in history where we have an artist that hit the biggest stage and wanted to make a statement. And wasn't just chart chasing and wasn't just trying to appease everybody and wasn't just trying to make something comfortable. So all the fans out there that's always been like, yo, hip hop used to do this and hip hop used to do that. We have that in this moment. Does it stick around? I don't know. But we have that in this moment. And in that audio, it's not about Drake, bro. Drake is a proxy.
But
And I said that in the audio. And for his bitch ass fans, and let me go a step further,
Here we go.
and his bitch ass, to not hear what I just said right there and understand what I said and think you're gonna punk me on social media by trying to take it out of by trying to take it out of context, y'all could get the button. I love this kind of smoke because let's get into it. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about chart chasing artists that only stand to appease and chase charts and make money. And we can specifically look at it in hip hop. It happens in any genres, but we can specifically look at it in hip hop. It is about toxicity. It is about chasing women, lowest common denominator, sex, and all the things that we complain about in the music.
right.
It's all of those things. We've always, and not that we don't enjoy it. Everybody enjoys it and have fun. But what we were talking about in that clip was what happened at the Super Bowl and what this battle represented and what was under attack. And for people to be that upset about what I said after saying we all love Drake, we all love the music, he's beloved, but the fact that they focused in on me saying Drake is a sickness, what they removed is Drake is just a proxy. It could have been, and I said it in there, it could have been any artist. Many artists have done what
But
Drake
see,
has done.
That's the point. It couldn't be any artist.
No,
just
it
was
could.
Drake.
It
No,
could have been
couldn't
any
have,
artist, bro.
You're
Yeah,
kind
but
of
they-
moving the goalpost a little bit because this
No.
whole thing started because it's Drake.
yeah,
Kendrick
because
and
you
Drake.
didn't. It's not about Jay-Z. It's not about Puff. It's not about everybody else.
This particular moment is not. Yes. I am not just talking about this particular moment. I'm talking about artists who have spent their time validating their existence based on charts. Not
Isn't that
art.
everybody though?
No, it's not
I mean,
everybody.
it's not Kendrick. It's not Kendrick.
It's not everybody, bro. It's not.
So
No,
you don't
I-
think the charts are important?
It's the artists we play on the radio. It's the artists that usually get to the Super Bowl. Yes, and that's the story. Is you have one that didn't do that, that
And made
took
it to
it
the
that
Super Bowl.
far, and did it for the art, and made a huge statement. Where now you have people who don't even listen to rap
talking about rap and getting
talking
into it.
about, wow, this is what rap is. Like
Listen-
I didn't even know this existed in hip hop.
Ebro, I obviously agree with every word you just said. I was hitting the button because you led the whole statement with the words,
But I
Drake
didn't.
is a sickness.
But I didn't. They obviously
Right,
edited
picked
the
it
clip
up
to fit
there.
their narrative. But I'm not the guy. You might have picked the right time, but the wrong guy. I'm not the guy who's afraid of any of this. So you can line up your little memes, Drake, and your OVO bots. Man, play that Drake and Party Next Door, man. Yo, what song y'all want to play off that joint, man? Yo, let this guy cook,
Play
man.
yourself.